Oh, there he is. Hello, Gennady. This is Gabriel Montoya with MaxBoxing.com and LeaveItInTheRingRadio.com with my co-host David Duenas. We were supposed to have Abel Sanchez and yourself on tonight, but I think Abel's stuck in the snow, so we were just going to have you. How are you this evening?
It's good. It's good. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What do you think that Rosado brings to the fight against you? And do you feel that this is a step up in competition, in your opinion?
No, I think he's aggressive. I don't know if he's tactic. I think he won close fight, close distance because he is aggressive. Because he is strong. I think like this.
Do you think he's going to try to close the distance and smother your power so that you can't extend and get your combinations off?
Yeah, right. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Do you think the kind of fighter that he is? I mean, he's a very tough fighter. He's rough and tumble. He's going to try to get in there. But do you think that's the only dimension that he has?
No, he's a boxer. Boxer, puncher.
Well, how do you feel that you need the fight to play out? I mean, do you feel comfortable just boxing with him? Is that going to be your approach, more just of a patient pressure?
Yeah, pressure every time. Yes, absolutely. A lot of pressure. Pressing.
Is there a lot of pressure on you to continue with your KOs and being an exciting fighter, since you've really have caught in the imagination of all fight fans out there?
Yeah. I have a lot of pressure, and I think knockout. I think knockout, not decision, knockout.
Is that how you prefer fights to go, though, or do you not mind a decision, or do you prefer just knocking people out?
Whatever comes, yeah. Comes and decision or knockout or KO.
When I watch you, I think of almost like a Felix Trinidad or like Abel Sanchez's fighter, like Terry Norris. These guys that were just knockout artists, and they were spectacular. They'd posterize people, just hit them, and they would just go out. But all of them seem to, especially Trinidad, talk about how much they loved knocking people out. Do you prefer? I mean, is it for you? Do you think of yourself that way, like a KO artist, or is it just the way you fight?
I think, I like this style, this pressing and hard work, hard fight. I like it.
Why do you think you and Abel Sanchez work so well together?
I think it's great.
Right.
Great. It's work. I understand him. He understands me. I feel him. Oh, I respect him. It's great team. Hard work every time. System and strategy and hard work every day. I think it's great team.
You seem to really enjoy your training, heading up there to Big Bear. It's very isolated. Not a lot of fighters enjoy going up there. Tim's a special kind of guy. Is this for you? You're I believe 30 years old. Do you just kind of want to get this part of your career over, or get your career kind of done, really focus in, have a bunch of fights, make a bunch of money, and then kind of just exit the sport? I mean, it seems like you don't really do anything else but train. Every time I talk to you, you're training. Is that just kind of the game plan, to not stay in boxing that long, but stay very focused while you do?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think yes. Yeah.
After this fight, if you're successful, do you jump and face one of the top 3 middleweights out there, preferably Sergio Martinez, or do you continue learning and taking up guys that can help you learn in the ring before trying to go for a title?
Yes, absolutely, of course. Of course, yeah. Anybody, yes, absolutely.
So anybody, you're willing to take Sergio Martinez next, you're willing to, or whatever your management or your promoters are willing to give you, you're going to take it?
Yes, right.
Who do you think between 154 and 168, which is, you said you could fight at any of those divisions, who's the most dangerous fight for you?
It's dangerous. Whoa. Oh, no, this is a good question. No, I understand the situation. I don't know. That I feel great, I feel great. I'm ready. I'm ready.
But you think, say, like Andre Ward would be tougher than Sergio Martinez, or would he just be different?
Well, I think Sergio. I don't know. Is dangerous. I think Andrew Ward is much dangerous because he's big, he's strong. He's very smart, very. And Sergio, like, not smart, like, but I respect him because he's good reflex, just, he's good moving. And he's boxer, he's good boxer.
Who would you prefer to face first, Andre Ward or Sergio Martinez? Who would you want to get next?
Doesn't matter. Right now, I think it's Sergio Martinez because he's middleweight. For Andre Ward, I want this fight. I think for me, it's much better just one, maybe two fights in future with Andrew Ward because 68. Right now, last month I'm 162, 164. For Andrew Ward, I understand just a couple of weeks, maybe two fights, and I'm ready for Andrew Ward. I want this fight.
Wow. Okay.
So you think you can make that jump? If let's say you do two fights and then you jump to 68 to fight Ward, would you just stay at that weight, or would there be anything left for you at 60? I mean, like, once you move to 168, do you just plan on staying there?
Yeah, 68 and come back in 60. Yeah. It doesn't matter, 140 or 54 and 160 doesn't matter for me. My weight yesterday 162. I can 154, 168.
Well, I look forward to all of it. I mean, I think there's so many good fights out there for you. I think the key is going to be who's going to want to take them. I'd like to see you and Kelly Pavlik.
I'd like to see him and Peter Quillen, or if he's successful. There's a lot of fights out there for you, Gennady. I'd love to see, man, and I look forward to it. I really look forward with the Rosado fight. I got to be honest with you. I think that's a very, very tough fight for you, and I wish you all the best of luck with that fight.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you afterwards. So good luck to you.
And fight fans, really quick, if you want to follow Gennady, you can follow him on Twitter at Triple G Boxing. So be sure to follow him and chop it up with him. Gennady, thank you again, man, for taking the time to speak to us here on Leaving the Ring. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
I got to applaud him, because there's a language barrier here, and a lot of times, fighters that not comfortable immediately with them, with speaking, he was for it, man. Almost kind of the way he went at it, the way he does in his fighting style, It's
interesting when he comes into the room, man. We were all sitting there talking with Jonathan Banks for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and when he's got a very you could hear him on the phone, very relaxed energy. He's a giant man, fills the room, 6'3", and he's just got a presence, very calm about him. But Golovkin has a totally different energy, and he comes in and the room just kind of gets a little brighter. He's just smiling. He made sure to shake everybody's hand, and just he's just kind of exuberance about him, and even kind of plowing through this, interview. That's kind of how he is in person too. Is you say, will you fight anybody? He's just like, yeah. He doesn't really get into specifics. He believes in himself, and Abel, you can see how excited he gets. Steve was tweeting yesterday, he thinks he's the best fighter he's ever worked with. And that's saying something considering the people he's worked with. I can't wait to see him work, and it's just, I think as he goes along, he'll probably get a better grasp of English and be able to kind of articulate better. But I also get the sense that he's a guy that just lets his fist do the talking. I think he's perfectly happy with that. He enjoys his work, enjoys training, and he agreed. I'd like to make a lot of money in the next few years and then get out of the sport. Isn't that the point?
Yeah, exactly. We got a lot of calls online here. We're gonna start patching in some people. We're gonna go down the line. I'm gonna see who's been on hold the longest. Let's go with area code 888-567. You're on live right now on Leaving the Ring. What's on your mind, brother?
Hey, man. My name is, in the boxing circles, I'm known as Cut Me Mick. My name's Robert. I'm from California. I was listening to you guys talk to Gennady right now. I was wondering, as far as your questions were going out, you guys don't think you guys were jumping a little too far ahead for him? I mean, talking about Martinez already, Andre Ward.
He doesn't. Talking to him in person and talking with Abel Sanchez and his promoter, Tom Loeffler, they don't feel like that's overreaching. I mean, I agree with you that it's kind of like, wow. Really?
Yeah.
But I think when they talk about those things, I think there's an unspoken reality that there's obviously going to be some step between that. I don't think those guys want to jump right to it. I mean,
that's what we're hoping. They don't want to do that the way Seth Mitchell did. It's just bite a little bit too much so they can chew.
I think he's ready. I got to be perfectly honest. I mean, I think at this point it is all about experience with him. I think he's.
And let me point out why I asked
he's
that
ready.
question.
All right, but all right. All right. His biggest names on his resume.
Right. But let me point out.
And Proxa maybe.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I'm just talking about what I see. I've also followed him for a long time, watched him through the amateurs, watched him mature. They didn't.
Right.
I think each of those things were learning experience. I really just believe in his talent, and it is a bit of a leap.
I can respect that. Yeah.
But let me point out why I asked, what his plans were, Robert, and I'll tell you why I asked, because we're starting to see this trend on HBO, where a guy comes on maybe one or twice, and then automatically they're jumped,
Right.
And with this middleweight division, it's really kind of it's settled down enough, to a point where Sergio Martinez doesn't have a whole lot of options out there, and they got to rush somebody to give him that fight.
Right.
What fight's out there for Martinez? And that's why I threw it out there, because I was wondering, was that a name that it's in their mind of who they would want to take? And I would not sit here and not, if HBO told me they weren't thinking of putting these two guys in together, I just wouldn't believe that, because I think they're thinking about doing that pretty soon.
Yeah, and I'm sure they don't want to stand in line. I mean, the sooner they can get up there with the names of Martinez, I mean, I'm sure they'll jump at the opportunity. I mean, they're not going to sit around and wait.
Right.
Yeah, and you got Peter Quillen there too. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
It seems like HBO really wants to. Well, although Quillen, it's going to be interesting to see how he decides to defend. I mean, he's defending tough against Fernando Guerrero, and the Enchikam win is solid. I mean, I don't think Peter has anything to be ashamed of about his title reign. He's kind of planted his flag. But it'll be interesting to see how he feels about unification. I know he's always wanted Martinez, but now that he has a belt, I don't really keep up with him. I don't know if he's talking about Martinez now that he has a belt. Golovkin,
probably not.
No, probably not. And Golovkin's a trip because he's 30. He's got a lot of experience. And Olympic pedigrees, a silver medalist. I think he's just every bit as good, and he's got that power, which I think is very real. I don't think it's out of the realm of maybe not Andre Ward. I think that's a little crazy, but not crazy, but let's let him warm into the weight. And then
But I kind of agree with Robert too. I mean, even Sergio's name right now being thrown, and I've heard some fight fans, when I talk to them, they're like, "Oh, I think he knocks out Sergio," and I'm just like, I think we're jumping a little too. What I mean? We're just.
I'm a big proponent of Sergio, but in this day and age, coming back from a reconstructed knee, I think he knocks out Sergio. I think if Chavez had let his hands go in the middle of that fight. Look at Sergio. His defense ain't all that great. He's got a dynamic offense and a difficult style. But if you let your hands go on him and you've got a size advantage, which Golovkin definitely does, I think he puts hands on Martinez.
Paul Williams.
I think he put him to sleep.
So did Paul Williams.
Paul was a different kind of fighter. He was a volume fighter that didn't step through his punches with power.
Right.
He's economical. He's not a volume puncher. He's like a Trinidad, a counter puncher with power that's waiting for you to do something and let it go. I mean, I know I sound crazy, and I've been a big cheerleader for Sergio Martinez. I would pick this guy to knock him out late.
I guess I'm going to have to wait. Before I even think of anything, I still say Gabriel Rosado was a very tough fight for him to handle. There's going to be some moments of adjustment, and if he can do those moments of adjustment, I would say yes, a little bit more, but I still would want to see him go like Peter Quillen, Fernando Guerrero, and then I would probably start putting his name with Sergio Martinez. Hey, Robert, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys, man.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
Fight fans, you want to call in 347-215-7598, and that was one of the sole reasons why I did ask that question. Just because of the fact we're starting to see this trend where they in my opinion, HBO
microwaves.
they need a superstar. Michael, exactly. And